Hey guys, Kenny here. I'm here to review the 2010 horror remake, The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins, Emily Blunt, Hugo Weaving, and Geraldine Chaplin. I have to say that this remake was pretty good. The basic plot is about this guy Lawrence Talbot, played by Benicio del Toro. He gets bit by a werewolf and he starts changing into a werewolf. And it also turns out that his dad is also a werewolf, and he killed uh, Lawrence's mom and dad brother. So Lawrence has a vendetta against his dad, John Talbot, played by Anthony Hopkins. And the fight that is between them at the very end of this movie is phenomenal, and the makeup was also beautiful. And there's this girl, Gwen Conliffe, played by Emily Blunt, and she was like, I think she was a a long friend of Lawrence when he was younger, and she was, I think she was also married or something. I forget if she was married or she was engaged to Lawrence's brother, who was killed by John Talbot, the father. But she ends up being a really good character in this, and pretty essential to the story, in my opinion. And then Francis Aberline, played by Hugo Weaving, he's the one who he was most famous for the Jack the Ripper case, and Francis is the one who's on the Lawrence Talbot's case. He's the one who's on. Francis is the one who's on that case of trying to kill that Wolfman, kill Lawrence. And Hugo Weaving in this as Francis Aberline was phenomenal. Oh, I don't think he's been on screen where we see his face actually since The Matrix Revolutions. The last time he was actually on screen was in V for Vendetta, but we didn't see his face. He had that mask. So the last time we actually saw his face was in Matrix Revolutions. And the third Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. So I thought this was a really well, wait. He was in another movie recently called Last Ride. I haven't seen that yet. I think it's an independent movie. But the last time I saw him on screen was seeing his face was The Matrix Revolutions and the third Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. And I thought this was a fantastic return to the screen for him. So this was enjoyable, not great. I think the problem might have been with me. Probably would have been the pacing was a little slow. And the acting was kind of subpar. but whenever action happens, it is spot on and phenomenal. And the Wolfman changing effects of Lawrence, played by Benicio del Toro, anytime he changes into the werewolf, it's beautiful. I thought that was a fantastic blend of computer generated imagery and makeup effects. And it also kind of really surprised me that of how much makeup that was used in this. We're so saturated in a CGI world. I thought it was going to be all computer generated, but it wasn't. It was half computer generated and half makeup. It was all whenever it's like a close up of a face, it was normally all makeup, and I thought it was beautiful. This movie actually didn't scare me. I would like to see it again, but some people don't really like it, and I can understand that. The writing was a little. It could have used a little more work on the script. It looked like more work. Most of the work went into the computer-generated imagery and the makeup effects, which is fine. But I think that's what the movie was basing itself the most on, and that was the problem I had with it. I still enjoy it. I think I would love to see it again. Anthony Hopkins was wonderfully creepy as the father, John Talbot. He's not in this very long and very much, but I thought him and Hugo Weaving were the best parts in this out of the whole movie. Benicio, okay. It would have worked a little better if they had picked a different actor. I don't know who they could have picked, and I know that this was like a long labor of love project for Benicio, so I can understand why he was picked for the part. I think he was good. He was really good. If he had better dialogue, I think it would have been great. This probably would have been one of his better roles that he's ever had. Another weird thing was the moon. It was like well, I got it because I thought each time it got dark, it got to nighttime, I thought he would change into the werewolf each time, but no. So I didn't really have a problem with a moon. Wolfman was good. I would recommend it. If you haven't already, I would highly appreciate it if you would subscribe over here if you're watching the video by itself, or subscribe down here if you're watching the video on my channel. Any more thoughts on the Wolfman? I don't know, the music was rather good. That was another really good thing about this. And I thought the marketing was also quite good as well. Danny Elfman did the music. Yes. So, I do recommend this to anyone who likes this kind of horror. I loved it. So, I don't know if there's anything else I have to say, so stay cool and roll out to the movies.